Do you have a business that serves your local community? Are you trying to take your business to the next level? Do you struggle to understand your business numbers? Well, stop working harder thinking you're going to make more money. That's not how it works. Each week, we go over how to understand and leverage your business numbers to not only create more sales, but more importantly, how to create more profits. Remember, it isn't about how much you sell. It's about how much you keep at the end of the day. My name is Tammy, and I'm on a mission to help badass business owners like yourself put more money in your pocket. So whether you're a badass or a badass in the making, let's get this party started. Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. Listen, today I want to talk about something that I see way too many of you doing, and that is stop chasing customers that you have no business chasing. All right? Let me tell you, it is costing you time, it is costing you energy, resources, and most importantly, it's costing you money. So you're probably asking yourself, what customers are you talking about, Tammy? I'm not chasing customers I shouldn't be chasing. Yeah, you are. I'm going to go over a couple of them and let's see if any of these kind of people fit who you're chasing. All right. The first one is people that are not your ideal customer. All right. Now, this one is something that's a little bit harder sometimes for people to identify, especially as they're chasing sales in general, because a lot of times we'll say, well, I'm always picking on my landscapers, right? Well, I do landscaping. Okay. I do dog grooming. I do plumbing. I do whatever. Okay. But that's not everybody who's going to use your services. So every time that you kind of just put out into the world that you want everybody, yeah, we all want everybody. It would be wonderful if everybody would use our services, but that's not the way it works. There are certain people, certain trends that tend to use our business. And it'll go back to what we've talked about before. It's somebody who has a pain point that we solve. And even if you say, no, Timmy, you don't understand, I get a little bit of everybody. Yeah, you probably do. But 80% of the people that you service have probably some common threads to them. And that's what you want to tap into, because these are the people that absolutely have said, I want to use you. So for example, when I ran the ice cream shop, I think it's pretty safe to say that as much as I wanted everybody to buy ice cream, and if you're an ice cream lover like I am, you think everybody loves ice cream, everybody should want to buy ice cream. Well, let's think about this for a second. First off, not everybody likes ice cream. What? No, really? Yeah, I know that's hard to believe that there's people out there, probably some of you listening, that don't like ice cream. As sad as that is, they were not my ideal customer. Now there's people that like ice cream, but it also makes them terribly sick to where they want to throw up. As sad as that is, they're not my ideal customer. I like teasing them though. Anyways, who else would not be an ideal customer? Well, the ice cream shop I ran was higher than most. So I'm not going to find the ideal customer is not going to be necessarily somebody who's looking for the dollars, something cheap or inexpensive just because they're living on a very tight budget. That's not going to be my ideal customer. My ideal customer had some money that they could throw away at least once a week, that it was okay. They didn't even blink on spending $4 or $5 on a scoop of ice cream. They would be more aligned with my brand than somebody would have been who was looking for $1.50 scoops on a regular basis. Now, that didn't mean I didn't tweak the business model, because those of you that know, I had like dollar nights, dollar scoop days and stuff like that. So there was a way I could go after those people. But ultimately, those people could not keep the business open because they could not create the sales that I needed to be able to create the profits that I needed to be able to keep the business open. So that leads to another part that's tied to this whole thing. If you're chasing people that only want the lower end of what it is that you do, it's going to hurt you from a profitability standpoint. You'll do all the sales in the world, but sales do not equal profit. You have to be very careful that you're not chasing, once again, the wrong people, because if you're chasing customers that only want the cheap side or the inexpensive side of what you have to offer, the stuff that does not make any profits, you will not be in business long. You just can't pay the bills. So you have to have enough people that you are able to have on the higher end to where you make money. It's not saying that you can't have some of those economical ways for people to buy stuff, are those low entry barrier get in models where you don't make as much money, as long as they're graduating to the other stuff to where you make more money. So my point is, make sure you're not chasing the people that only want the cheap stuff. I'm not saying don't invite them in and don't let them be part of your business, but you don't need to be chasing them. There's a difference between people who come to you and people you go chasing. I don't want you chasing the wrong customer. All right. There is a difference because once again, you're going to cast out all kinds of people are going to use you. And we do have that 80-20 rule, but you know what? 80%, that's what we're going to focus our energy on, are the people that are actually helping the bottom line and the profits grow, not necessarily the other ones that kind of come along because they're interested, because they're not your ideal customer. They're not the ones that are going to continue to come back and use all of your services that you provide. Another way that you're chasing customers is you're chasing customers by going more than that 5-10 mile radius that I'm always talking about. For those of you that are new to the podcast, I firmly believe that if you look in majority of people that are listening today in the 5 to 10 miles around your location where you're at, there is a plethora, if you will, tons of potential customers for your business where you do not have to be driving 15 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles away to try to get customers. Because if you do the math with how many people live within that 5 to 10 mile radius, and you take the number of customers you serviced last year and divide it by that number, you're going to find you're a very small percentage, 1%, 2%. So there's a huge pool of people out there if you just focused on a subdivision or a neighborhood or something like that. I think you're going to find you're going to get way more customers than you chasing the ones that are 20 miles away. People ask me all the time, well, I want to go to this community or I want to go to this city, and they're always 20, 25 miles away. Listen, you know how much money you're spending on gas to get there, time to get there, and your focus, your energy. So if you have to pay people to drive to that, guess what? You're out more money. And that drive time, that 30 minutes, that half hour is both ways, back and forth. So there's an hour to 2 hours of lost time that you actually could squeeze in another customer locally if you would just focus on getting the customers in your local community in. So it's costing you money because you have costs associated, expenses associated with going to another market that's further away versus creating new sales, new profits if you just focused on your local area. So that's another area where you are chasing the wrong customer. All right. Another one that you guys sometimes will do is for some reason, we chase or hold on to toxic people. These are customers that no matter what we do, we never please them. They're always sucking money out of our company. We're always having to give them back. They're never satisfied. They don't pay on time. They have crappy attitudes, whatever it is. You know the type of people. They're the people that if your phone rang and their number showed up, you would just like scream, ah! And drop the phone. It's that bad. Those are the people that you don't want to necessarily be helping. But for some reason, you continue to do so. You are chasing the wrong customers. You need to let them go. You know, it's one thing to be a pain in the butt once. It's another thing to be a pain in the butt third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, and we hold on to them. Oh, I just can't let them go. Or they've been with me for so long. Okay. Cut the cords, let them go, because something needs to change. They realize that you'll put up with their crappy attitude, with their neediness, with their whatever. And you know what? But what you're not thinking about is how much money they are costing you, because not only are you out the money you have to give them to make them happy, you're also costing yourself because the extra time you're spending on them is probably costing you another customer or two that you could be having in their place that are paying just like normal and you're making normal profits on. You know, so folks, listen, I really want you to start thinking about and paying attention to how you are chasing customers, and are you wasting your time? There's all kinds of different ways that we do this, and hopefully I've given you a couple different ideas. I'm sure there's more that I didn't talk about, but you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, what you have to ask yourself is, am I chasing the right customer? Am I chasing my ideal customer? there's a difference between those that, once again, there's a difference between those that just come along and show up versus the ones that you are chasing, the ones that you're spending money on, the ones you're spending time and energy on. It does you no good. And I've used this example before. It does you no good if you own a garage door company to be chasing a neighborhood or customers that only have carports. Because unless your business is about converting the carport to a garage door, I'm pretty sure somebody with just a carport is not going to be needing garage door springs tomorrow. All right. It just doesn't happen. But yet we'll continue to chase those people, talk to those people, send advertising to those people, and none of it is going to bear fruit. The only thing that they're ever going to be able to do for you is to make recommendations to somebody else. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but those onesie twosies that you get off of that are very different than if you went into the right neighborhood full of people that have the potential to use your products or services. So a couple different things. Like I said, you want to start paying attention to those toxic people, how to get them out of there. You want to stop chasing the wrong locations and where things are going. And you want to stop chasing people that don't fit the ideal customer that you're looking for. Stop chasing people that are using the wrong parts of your business. If you really want to spend majority of your time and energy on one certain aspect of your business, then that's what you need to chase. All right. At the end of the day, we all want sales. Yes, we all want as many customers. We want to grow our business, and we think it's all about sales, sales, sales. If I get more people, listen, there's only so much time in the day. There's only so much of you. You need to focus your energies on how do you get better profits out of the people that you get. And one way is to make sure you're running a lean machine. For example, we'll go back to my ice cream shop. Okay. Here's the thing. I was able to have that sucker running very well behind the scenes. I had top people from Baskin come in and look at it, and they couldn't pick apart what I was doing wrong at the store level. But at the end of the day, the store was located, it had two things going wrong. It was located in a community that was losing people at the time because the recession had just hit. So people were watching their pocketbooks. They were watching the money that they spent. They didn't have throwaway money for a $4 scoop of ice cream. All right. So I could fill up the place whenever I did dollar nights, all right, or $1 for $1.50 scoops. But at the end of the day, I didn't make any money off of that. And here's the thing. When your expenses, you know what? You got a building that's a high rent. You've got a bunch of freezers and refrigerators that has high electric. You've got payroll. You've got this. You got this. At some point, there's a tipping point where if you have the wrong people, I could fill up the store all day long with those folks who wanted the $1.50 scoops, but they were never going to pay the bills. All right. You see how that works? So first, you want to make sure you're running a very tight, well-run ship behind the scenes when it comes to diving into your payroll and your expenses and watching your inventory and everything else. But at the end of the day, if you get in the wrong customers, it's not going to help you. And there was no way I could pick up my store and move it to a different neighborhood or to a different city. That wasn't going to work to be able to get that. So it has to be, everything has to kind of come together. And I need you guys, especially because the majority of you do have mobile businesses, you can go focus on the neighborhoods that you want to do and the people that are ideal for it. You know, when I think back and I go, wow, is there something I could have done? Yeah, you know what? I could have, today it would be much easier because the people who would spend that $3, $4 on that ice cream scoop, guess what? The town rebounded, the town came back, and we've got some communities where the houses are like 3 times what they were back in that day. Oh my gosh, those people would buy that ice cream all day long because they've got that income to be able to do that. So sometimes it's just about timing. Maybe your area is not ready for what it is you're trying to do, in which case you can put it off to a side. So I know I'm kind of throwing a little bit of everything out there. I don't mean to be doing that. My main thing that I wanted to get across today is I want you guys to stop chasing customers that you have no business chasing. Okay. They need to be your ideal customer. They need to be in the location that is closest to you in that 5 to 10 mile radius. You need to make sure you get rid of all those toxic people. Stop wasting your time, energy, resources, and most importantly, your money. All right. So make that commitment to yourself, make that commitment to your business to no longer chase those that you have no business chasing. All right. With that, I am going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owners, before you go, I know sometimes learning your business numbers on audio can be a little difficult. So don't forget to also subscribe to the YouTube channel, Training for Local Small Business Owners, where each week I try to put out different videos that help you understand these business concepts and understanding your business numbers, because sometimes visually can help you understand the concept and make it a little bit easier. Plus, I break them down into smaller chunks, so this way it's easier for you to understand. So once again, don't forget, head on over to YouTube, Training for Local Small Business Owners. Check the show notes. There's also a link there. Now get out there and kick some ass.